Welcome to the 14th bonus episode of the Pro Crastinators podcast. How much money did you give? Let's see. Let's examine your audits right now. Oh, you were linked this by a friend who paid $2. Oh. Well, I guess this is I guess you get the quality that you put in, aka literally zero. Today on the podcast, on the Pro Crastinators podcast, we have Nate.
Nate the Great. He's late to your date, but he's still gonna masturbate.
Oh,
there you go.
You pulled it out. You pulled it out at the end there.
Nasty.
I did.
Quite abhorrent. We have Ben.
Vile. Quite vile. Yeah.
Ben.
I'm literally hacking the mainframe right. I'm literally hacking right
You're literally
now.
programming.
Yes. Thank God.
We have Polystation Grump. We have Poly Grumps here.
Yeah, pushing those verts, pulling them polys, and making texture maps. It's fun. Do it.
Nice.
We have Danger Vu, who is the action Vu. He's dangerous.
He's so much more dangerous than last time.
The muscles on my throat are tired from all the coughing.
Dude, you're gonna have a ripped neck by the time it's done.
Devu's dangerous, like that rats with the plague. Okay,
and I get interrupted again.
Munchy interrupted.
Yeah. Okay. This episode is WILDCARD. This is a WILDCARD. You know, when you pull up
myself.
Uno.
God damn it, you guys.
You interrupted.
What?
No,
Wait. I thought that was your
interrupting
intro.
No, because Nate talked over you introducing me.
Well,
Mage, say
Fuck
something.
you guys. Fuck everyone. Fuck you.
All right.
I am done.
Mage is getting
She's
salty
done.
in her old
Say
age.
something, or else I'm going to start the podcast.
I am saying something. Fuck you guys. There we
Okay,
go.
sick.
There it is.
This is the WILDCARD episode. You know, when you pull up
I love
Uno
George
or
R.R.
whatever,
Martin's little-known second side series based on Dungeons and Dragons characters played by him and his author friends. WILDCARD.
that true?
Yes.
That's exactly what we're doing today, audience. We're just going to be talking. We're just going to be bringing up small topics. There will be no main topic. You may think we're running out of ideas, but we're actually running out of bad ideas because this is a great idea. This is just going to be like, you know, your standard old horse cast or something to that effect.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's what
Yeah.
is good about the Horsecast episodes that the PCP sucks shit at.
Yep,
is like,
I
it's all
completely agree.
fake.
Completely agree.
This is all fake. You know, you talked about Uno. Did you guys know when you do a draw 4 card, you're only allowed, technically, according to the rules of Uno, to play a draw 4 card if you aren't able to play any other cards. Turns out that's a rule that no one ever talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
an
that's
actual
true. That's
official
true.
Uno rule. And also, obviously there's no way to prove. You could just cheat and no one would know that you're cheating. So there's a system for that too that no one knows about, which is if you think someone's cheating on their draw 4, you can challenge them. And if you challenge them, they have to show their cards, right? And if it turns out they cheated, then you don't have to draw 4 cards. They have to draw 4 cards.
there's a game.
However,
there's a game that
hold
me
on,
and my
Nate,
Boy
Nate,
Scout
Nate,
friends used
There's
to
one
play.
more. There's one more thing to know.
Yeah.
There's one more important thing
Okay.
to know. If you lose the challenge, you have to draw 6 cards.
Holy
No
fucking
way.
shit.
Yeah, so
Yo,
Uno
there
was
was
secretly a
this
much
game.
better game this whole time, and no one knew about it.
That is dope. There was this game that me and my friends played at Boy Scouts back in
You're
the
talking
day.
about bullshit, Nate, right?
Well, there's bullshit. I think we called it Kips or something.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Okay, I can't remember, but yeah, but basically it's you go around and maybe it was bullshit. You go around in a circle, and the whole point is you start at like ace, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, whatever, all the way up. And like the point is, as you go around the circle, everyone you deal out the entire deck to everyone, and then you put down like as many cards as so if you're the first, you put down ace. Okay, we'll start with the second one. If you have 2 2s, you can put down 2 2s, and you say out loud 2 2s, like you're putting down 2 2s face down in the pile, and then everyone else can see what they have in their hands, and if they suspect that you are lying, then they will call bullshit, and then you will have to if you were telling the truth, then you're good, and they have to pick up all the cards in the center, like all of them that have been accumulated so far as you've gone around and around.
A game like that.
I love that.
What was the best
That's
thing
great.
about this game?
Yeah.
The best thing about this game is that you can do things here. Like, this is my favorite thing to do. You can say, like when this is the game where you most play against your opponents as opposed to like against your own hand, because you can say like if everyone is just like thinking about what they're gonna do next, and you just say like you put down some number of cards and you're like 1 jack, and then like no one says anything, then the next person puts down like 1 queen. You could have put down your entire hand in that thing, and if no one calls bullshit, if no one calls you out as cheating, you can just win in like 1 move. You could put down 10 cards and say like 2 2s, and as long as the next person puts down a card on top of you, you are now immune from being defeated. And like you can trick people so hard with that game. It was perfect. It was so awesome.
Talking about card games makes me think about Ultimate Survivor Kaiji. Have you seen that, Nate?
Yeah.
Of course, I'm a huge fan. It's great.
Me and Jackie been watching it lately. I think
Fuck yeah.
it's
one of my favorites.
We're almost at the end of season
anime?
2.
Excellent.
It's about this guy who's in like he's deep in debt to some company. Some like mafia company. So they go and they pick him up and they basically make him like play games of chance and skill for the amusement of like their higher ups, like
But
just to
because
fuck
it's
with him.
But because it's shown in manga rules, fucking the mafia here comes up with really weird, specific, creative games. So
Yeah.
like the first arc is like basically, to sum it up, rock paper scissors to the death.
It's well, sort of. It's rock paper scissors.
sold
It's resource management.
If you lose,
I mean,
if you lose enough, you basically get sold into slavery, which is funny.
Yeah.
But it's not just rock paper scissors. It's like you have a deck of rock paper scissor cards, and you have to like conserve them and stuff.
Yeah, it's great
it's
because
resource
like
management.
the first arc kind of has everything, kind of has a nice tight package of everything the show has, and then every arc after that specializes in one of those elements. So like the first arc is like it's got.
Hey, I mean,
got,
is it
like,
okay if I spoil? Can I spoil
Oh,
stuff?
I
All right,
don't,
well,
I don't know,
well,
man.
Well, I'm gonna spoil
Fucking
stuff.
do it, man. Who gives a shit?
I didn't think people were gonna die, but people totally fucking die.
Yeah.
On the bridge. The bridge was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe there was like cushioning. I mean, they're probably just dead. They're probably just dead.
No, they're just
don't
dead.
know.
They are just dead, and it's fucking cool. I'm glad. Like,
I mean,
I
the
thought
point is
they were
that,
gonna
like, the
bitch
stakes
out.
are real. The stakes are real, and it's intense. It's dope. It's dope. Hey,
I-
can I just cut it? Wait, Munchy, before you go,
yeah.
let me just read. I just wanted to read the Urban Dictionary definition of wild card real
Okay.
quick, just as the one staple of our thing here. Yo, here's a wild card. A wild card is 1, a card that is used as any card in a game of poker. 2, a person who is surprisingly good at everything. And 3, a person who doesn't have a defined set of characteristics and has a random set of talents/skills. This person is often very unpredictable.
Me.
So there you go.
Literally
There you go.
me.
This gave me an idea for another bonus episode we could do around Urban Dictionary. We could do another wildcard episode where you just load a random page on Urban Dictionary. And we have to do
Oh,
Oh,
I
that's
actually
a
have
good
one for that.
idea.
I have one for
Good
that.
thinking.
Nate.
Hey, what's that, Tavu?
Nate, I want you
Yeah.
to talk about. Let's talk about the Baroque period. You know, Baroque, BROO. No. Fuck. I'm
Dude, let me
spelling it
tell you about
Look,
the Baroque
I'm
period. It was after
broke.
my. It was,
You want to talk about it? No having no money? I'm so fucking broke. It's
Hey,
not.
Shut up,
you
Mom.
want to
I
talk
was gonna
about people
make
who
that
interrupt
joke,
you when you're about to
God
make
damn
a
it.
fucking point, you're about to continue the conversation naturally? You want to talk about that? You want to talk about how your podcasters don't know fucking shit about literally anything ever at any point in their career?
Let's talk about how interrupting is the most important and good thing to do on this podcast. I literally believe that. I think
I
it's
believe
good.
that too. I believe
I
that
think
too.
it is
Right,
great.
Mage?
That's right.
All right, fucking anime. Koroni Kenshin or whatever the fuck.
What?
Cereal
You're
dogs,
anime, Tom,
saltwater
it's fun.
dogs, whatever the fuck you were just talking about, Ben. I am about
What?
to reveal myself as a fucking utter villain.
Oh no!
Thank God.
I have updated my Mal, and I'm going to watch anime soon.
No.
Why?
No.
Why? Munchy.
No.
Who even are you?
Okay. Serious question. Why?
Because I have like not watched a television show in like I think like 2 years.
You know that's
Okay.
I felt the same way. I hadn't seen an anime in forever, but I remember that like Kaiji was one that I had heard about. I think from one of Digi's recommendation videos, and been like, that one
Yeah,
actually sounds kind of good. So I
Yeah.
just like picked it at random, and it turned out to be pretty fucking good.
I feel exactly the same way. I was watching some Digi video like where Trigun was in the background, and I thought,
I mean, I
Trigun.
wasn't. This was
looks
not. I wasn't.
good.
I didn't get
Trigun's
this
good.
recommendation like recently. I just remembered in the back of my mind that like years ago I had heard about this anime, and I was like,
That's the shit thing is that
What's
I
that?
never do a recommendation. I never follow through on the recommendation when I get recommended. It's always like 2 years later, you know?
Yeah. Well, generally, the rule of thumb for me is that I will almost never take a recommendation for anything to watch unless a thing has to be recommended to me by multiple independent sources. That,
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Yeah. And if I'm getting like
have a very
multiple people
specific
that
reason
don't
for
know
why
each
they're
other
recommending it, you
being
know?
like, watch this show, I'll be like, well, all right, maybe.
Yo, hey, let's talk. I want to talk some shit real quick. Devu, I think you, more than anyone else, has a tendency to just keep going and talking over people, and it just makes the podcast worse. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
Possibly. I don't know. It might still be lag issues. It might not. I don't fucking know. There's just lots of times where, like, I don't know. I haven't been on the
I
fucking
mean, I'm not
podcast
saying
in a
it's
while.
right that somebody talks over you. I'm just saying, you know,
Yeah,
it's an
I don't
observation.
know.
You know.
Maybe I should be on the podcast more and get a better feel for the rhythm of when, like, someone has
I don't
definitely
know.
decided to talk over, and it's like, okay, I'll give it to them.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you can feel like whenever two people start talking, one is like committed, and it's up to that other person to literally cuck themselves. That's what they
that's
they
the
owe it
problem.
to
I have
our
a hard time
audience.
dealing with like how pathetic that is to do. You
Yeah,
know?
Devu ain't no cuck. That's for sure.
Here is my anime list. Please rate my anime list.
Munchy,
Rate
what
my
are you?
list.
Who are you? What's happening right now? What were you? Why?
I've so turned heel because I was so against all anime in like all incarnations
Can we just-
of it could
I have
be.
a
Appreciate
question.
the fact.
What is this
What's
Poppy the Performer, and why is it?
You've never seen Poppy the Performer?
That's his favorite anime. Is it?
That's my favorite anime.
All right,
Okay. I'm about to explain it to you. I'm going to literally sell it on you.
I've seen it a little bit.
It is CGI
it
anime
is.
Tom and Jerry, but it's not about a cat and a mouse. It's about a juggalo and a fucked up weird wolf furry, and
Yeah,
all they
this is
do
this is it.
is just fuck with one another and kill each other, and eventually they befriend a flamboyant father figure, and it's great.
I love the wolf, the poor boy.
Yeah, I love Katamano. He's my favorite boy. He's my favorite fucking guy. Here, look at this fucking guy. Look at this fucking guy. This guy is my favorite person. He's my bro. He's my fucking
Is that
bro.
a mask or is
Devu! Okay, this fucking guy, Katamano. You know what he does? You know what his gimmick is? He's a wolf, but he doesn't want anyone to know that he's like a monster. So he has an elaborate series of masks, and he has so many masks, just like mask piled on top of mask, that whenever he changes expression, one of his masks like drops to the floor, and there's another mask behind it. Like his expressions, like he's animated and he has expressions, but every expression is a new mask.
Munchy, this looks like if you made an anime. This
I
looks
know,
like
it does.
Your aesthetic.
I mean, it
completely.
looks like garbage in terms of like. I'm just saying in terms of like the CGI quality. Maybe
No, it
I
looks
could believe it's good.
great. I love it. It's exactly my aesthetic.
I disagree,
It is,
but
yeah.
Can we just appreciate for a moment the fact that Munchy is becoming an anime boy because of Digi? So Digi literally
That's true.
corrupted
Yeah.
a kid.
he corrupted your kids.
corrupted
He
your
corrupted
kids.
your kids.
Okay.
There it
Not,
is.
not really because of Digi.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
I want it to be known specifically. If you look at my anime list and you see the ones that I want to watch, all of them are like they look good. That's the only qualification I have in anime. I will literally not watch an anime unless it looks great. That is my one qualification. If you have some like heady fucking show that has good themes, if I want to watch like fucking Technolize or Psychopaths, I'm not going to do that. Those shows look bad. I'm not going to do it.
Psychopaths looks bad.
Okay.
I don't like the way
Kinda
it looks.
does.
I mean, it has an aesthetic that doesn't
It's
seem
got-
exactly Munchy-esque.
it's got good
I guess it's not
designs,
Munchy,
but
but I
it's
wouldn't
too
say
fucking
it's
blurry.
technically bad.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'm not saying it's technical. I'm just saying that I don't want to watch it.
Okay.
Sure. Hey, I've just got like a total left turn of a topic that I thought of to bring in. Actually, Tom, what we was here in the early, either earlier before the podcast or at the very start, I can't remember, was, okay, here's a pet peeve, and let's talk about how this is the nightmare, I'm sure, of everyone's existence on this podcast. Okay, here's the topic. forgetting to bring up something you wanted to say on a podcast or on an
well,
episode.
Here, let me talk to you about. It's not even. I do worse. I don't forget. I remember, but I can't find a way to interject and bring it up at the right time.
I know how you feel.
That has never happened to me because I just force it in at any time.
Yeah,
when
that's because
I know, and it's really great.
Rapist,
It's really great
Nate.
when you do.
force
I am
yourself
a
in.
podcast rapist. He's right.
I find that sometimes a topic will come and I'll want to say something, but the moment will pass and I'll have to let it go.
Yeah.
Ben,
that-
shut the fuck
That's how I
up. This
feel
is why
all the
this is
time.
why
What the
Starfleet.
fuck?
This is why Starfleet is relevant to this conversation, etc.
the fuck?
That's a joke. That's a joke.
I'll
I
end
didn't
you.
mean to be a rude boy. Forgive me.
I will end
Forgive
you.
me.
It's over.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to
it's
say
fine.
that, like, it kills me inside when I have, like, a juicy thing. And this is why I've adapted to this. This was more of a problem in my youth, in my past. But now I've adopted an elaborate system of pulleys and levers that, like, now I write out, using advanced techno magic sorcery, I'm able to transcribe caricatures onto my digital screen that lies before me so I can remember things to bring them up, like, in a conversation when someone else is
taking
talking.
notes?
I take notes. As I go.
Yeah.
I'm constantly
Nate,
taking
Nate,
notes.
I think me and you are the only people who take notes.
Oh,
I think so.
I take notes
I do
sometimes.
not. I do
when
not
I actually
take
care about
notes.
what's being talked about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. It's just very helpful because,
It's
like,
handy.
in a conversation, like, Ben or anyone could say something. I mean, well, maybe not Ben, say something that I find interesting, but, like, someone can say something, and it just makes me, you know, I don't know what I'm going to think of when someone says, like, a given topic, and that might be like, oh, I should talk about that. And actually, you know what? This is again another bit of a left turn, but there are times when I'll listen to a PCP and I will go through an extremely strange ritual. So I was in the conversation to begin with, and at that time, I had a thought I wanted to bring up. And then I didn't bring it up, but as then if I'm listening back to the episode, my brain goes through the exact same motions of bringing up in my brain, like, oh, you should bring up this, Nate. And I experience the exact same thing again. This is how I know free will isn't real, because I can feel my brain just doing the exact same thing over again, and that I have no control over it. But it's an
free will
interesting.
isn't real is like my biggest fear. I hate that.
Well,
concept.
welcome to your
Why are
nightmare,
you
my
afraid
friend.
of something that's definitely true? Like, that's not really like just sort of an.
Well,
Because
death is real, but we can fear it too.
Here's the thing:
I
the
suppose.
reason that I'm afraid of free will being not being real is
Yeah.
because I am severely disappointed in myself as a human being. I find that what I
yes.
do is not
Yes.
satisfactory. So if I can operate under the illusion that free will is real, I have the ability to change aspects of myself. If it's not, then everything I've done so far that's been disappointing is preordained,
Tom,
and
actually-
I'm destined to be a failure.
If you don't like yourself, actually, I would say free will not being real is an emancipation. You are not responsible for any of the mistakes
I
you've
don't give a
made.
shit about responsibility. I give a shit about legacy and making something I'm proud of.
Well, I couldn't agree with you
He
more
wants
on
to
that.
turn it around.
But Tom, your
Okay,
story
okay.
hasn't finished yet. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe you're the underdog that's gonna come out on top.
Yeah,
in the end.
like
Listen,
the absence
Mage.
of free will does not mean that things can't change.
That is true.
Mage, you don't have to rub it in. Me and Tom both know our stories haven't finished yet. We both know that.
Oh, yeah. A hashtag artpologies.
Oh God!
There you
I was
go.
working on that this morning and it felt great.
Well, good. Yeah,
I should
that's
work
great.
on my story.
Do it. Wait.
I'm still waiting for Lethal Aurora Mage
Ben-
and Phantom Horns Adventures in
Ben
Keg's
and
house.
Munchy.
Still
Are
waiting
we
for
gonna
that.
are we gonna do the meeting tomorrow that we said we were gonna do like 2 weeks ago and didn't? We were talking
Yeah,
about the stuff
yeah.
to do?
I was talking about that. I was talking about that. About the fucking the like we talked about this in the Refugees Calculus, which will come out like way later than this. About how we have like a real friend initiative, like version 2.0, but like not official, and it's just a thing that I want to do. Where all the art boys to get together and like fucking post shit that they've been working on.
Yeah, we just
and I
like
do
hype
like
each other
that.
up.
Yeah, I like that.
The-
But like
Sure,
I've
that's
always
fine.
forgotten. I've always forgotten to do that. Like every single week.
Well, just do it tomorrow after the meeting.
Well, I'm gonna be out playing Pokemon Go all day because all
Well,
you can Pokemon Go to
is
hell,
so
you
fucking
faggot.
good. No, oh god, Pokemon Go is the best thing to ever happen to me. It's gotten me to go outside, and it's gotten me
Yeah.
to like meet new people and like.
You're only like
experience
2
new
years
things.
late to the party here, dude, but at least you're enjoying it. That's good.
Yeah, it's
I'm
great.
Glad to hear it.
I have a question, legitimate question about Pokemon Go. How is it still keeping your attention? Because I got very bored of it. Very quickly.
It's easy. It's got the odds are on its side because it makes you go out and walk around in the real world, and the real world is inherently interesting. Like Pokemon Go doesn't have
not
to like
that.
do
Well, I
that
live in the middle of
Yes,
I live in the
exactly.
middle of nowhere, so there's nothing
Yeah,
interesting here at
Well,
all.
same.
Fair
So
enough,
it doesn't
fair
really work
enough.
for
Tom,
me either.
Tom,
But I
Pokemon
get
Go
it.
is just
It's
a
worked for me before.
facilitating factor. It's just a facilitating factor for me to. Okay, I already explained this on the Red Fergus Cocktailers episode. Like, this will just be rehashing, but that's fine since it's relevant here. In Boston, it was like the best moments of my life. We were playing Pokemon Go and just like walking up and down Newberry Street over and over again, spinning Pokestops and getting rid of Pokemon.
Transfer Mewtwo, Munchy. You have to transfer Mewtwo.
And I met this portly gentleman who was like probably like 36 to 42 years old. He had a thick Boston accent. And he had two phones, an Android phone and an iPhone, both on
Damn.
Pokemon Go, so he could raid bosses more effectively.
Whoa.
And this guy, whenever he caught a Pokemon with poor IVs, even legendaries, highly coveted, if they just had bad IVs, he would be like, "Oh, this one loves the cock. Oh, this one just loves the cock. Oh, it just loves it." He would say this out in public, like around church, like, "Oh, this Zigzagoon loves the cock. Oh, it just
Did you
loves it."
confront him on this strange
Yeah.
lifestyle choice?
Munchy.
No, I just loved it. I basked in it.
This like 30 to 40
Damn.
something portly Boston man. Was it Movie Bob?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh no.
It was great. And
Sounds just like him. It is Movie Bob now in my mind.
Yeah, agreed.
it's so
agreed.
like Pokemon Go.
One
it's
time
so
I thought
nice
I saw Movie
to
Bob
just walk out.
Yeah.
at South Station, but I'll never
yeah?
know for sure.
Oh! I was gonna say this at Rag Cup, but I forgot. I'm so glad that you said this because it reminds me of how I realized that this is really respect to Pokemon Go too, in the way that I'm going to explain it. Ben, you are like you are biome like you are a Boston biome 2K hatch. You are common in Boston. You are a Pidgey in Boston. I see you, Ben, all the time in Boston. Everyone looks
I
like
get it.
you. Everyone
I
looks
see.
like you.
I see.
You
Yeah,
are just
I mean,
you are the
I'm a
you are the
product of my
generic
environment.
Munchy,
person.
how dare you insult Boston in that way? Make him such a what a terrible thing to say.
like out of the corner of my eye, constantly I'll see like that guy looks like a Ben. One time I saw a guy who like literally was the exact same as Hippo but just taller. And we're
Okay.
in New England. Coincidence? No.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a mystery. It's a mystery how
speaking
the
of-
cookie crumbles, but you're
speaking
getting to
of
the bottom of it.
Me speaking of Movie Bob, let's switch topics to internet people who you've been following for 10 years and your evolving feelings of them.
Okay.
Oh, romantic?
Potentially.
Oh. Okay, Javu.
Yeah,
go.
you start.
I
You
start.
start. What do
Okay,
you
cool.
got? What do you got?
Because the trajectory is interesting. Because like first you have people like Nostalgia Critic, who I always knew was quantity over quality.
But he didn't realize how handsome he was.
Yeah, as more and more of his hair got out of the way for me to see. And all of his gleaming bald beauty. And now he just straight up shaved off all of his hair. And in non-nostalgia critic videos, he doesn't wear a hat anymore because he's overcome his insecurity. But now I literally can't distinguish him from Stefan Molyneux. So it's just getting
Why
really
did he
confusing
shave
in my
his hair?
recommendeds. Because
He just
it was
owned
like
his baldness,
95% off anyway from just
Yeah.
extreme baldness.
I will say though, I have a problem seeing Doug in his Nostalgia Critic outfit now because I can see the baldness even though
Yeah.
he's wearing a hat. Like it bothers me. It's like even if he was balding, that would be fine because the hat
Right.
completely covers it. But he'd have some hair on the sides. It feels weird and wrong for him to have
Yeah.
like the side of his head.
It's a
shaved.
fashion
It is-
choice he wouldn't have made today.
Yeah,
You know, but
that's
he,
true.
he has to keep doing the costume, which is fine. Anyway, like I haven't been keeping up with the Nostalgia Critic in like years now because, you know, he's just not he's a great actor. He's got great ideas, but
Well.
he should have been put in the hands of like a better producer and better like just a better team, right? He happened to come up with the one type of character that he's good at playing, but I just don't think he's very good as like this cult of personality, top of the food chain man who's in control of writing all the shit, you know. So that's why
I heard
completely-
that in one of the movies, Linkara rapes the nostalgia chick.
Yeah, there's like a rape. There's like sort of a subtle. Okay, it was a rape joke in one of the movies that wasn't. Okay, one of the movies is sci-fi themed, right? So everyone shows up, but they're like a sci-fi character parody, right? So there's like Star Trek shit in it, and there's Borgification in it. So like some of the characters get Borgified in the thing, and so they get Borgified like sort of off panel, off screen, and it's sort of like a rape joke. Apparently, it was gonna seem even more rapey originally, but Nostalgic was like,
Wait,
excuse me, I haven't had time to read the script because the script came out at the last minute. I'm not really comfortable with this, so they like toned it down a little bit, but still,
so
he's
just
with it.
Borgifying her?
Yeah, but it's sort of like he grabs her. And then, like, she's shunted away off to the side of the screen, and then you hear all these sound effects, and she's going, like that.
Fucking! If she wasn't a woman, no one would give a shit.
I know.
And I don't care. That is a shitty story.
Anyway,
she's a shitty
that's
person,
Nostalgia Critic.
et cetera, et cetera.
The reason why this is on my mind is, actually, no, I'll save AVGN for last. Movie Bob is the one who's interesting because like his videos started off real shit, but like kind of interesting, and he had really, really, really bad microphones sometimes, like literally like a $5 headset mic through a tin can through a sheet of tinfoil. You don't understand. Go look up Game Overthinker V17. Watch that, guys, and you will hear the worst microphone ever. But like he started becoming like more and more liberal as time went on. He became like. He just keeps becoming like more and more passive aggressively liberal in a really annoying way. So like I had to get more and more mature to keep dealing with it, right? With like his weird passive aggressive snipes and swipes that he always does. And I finally like got tired of him and stopped watching him for like 2 years. But now I'm finally like strong-willed enough to like, even though his Trump references are like out of the fucking water, I'm just like, oh, whatever. Because he's got a lot of interesting things to say. It just seems like he never runs out of interesting things to say, but he always presents them kind of boringly. Anyway, one of the ones I really wanted to talk about was Jimquisition, because if people know Jimquisition, that motherfucker, his videos started off like real shit. And what was weird is that over the course of like 8 goddamn years, his show slowly became amazing in every way. And I don't know of any other channel that like got that much better that steadily over that much time, right?
Yeah, Jim Sterling is very watchable now.
Yeah.
Like, incredibly watchable.
Yeah.
I suppose he is.
I actually haven't been I used to watch him like faithfully, but I haven't for like months.
He's a great instance on how to...
I don't really know why I was watching him in the first place, because I don't care about the AAA games industry, which is all he talks about, but I was just...
I think it's because I used to care about it, and I kind of just like watching it burn now.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it's always the same. Like, every episode feels the same. It's like a new company has had microtransactions.
Right. Well, it's because like
true.
it's just like because you agree with his perspective, you just like listening to him hammer away at it. Be like, yeah.
Good point.
The Jimquisition is not meant to like educate people of new shit. It's not really like an analysis video. It's more like a political video. It's like bringing everyone's attention to a thing, right, and helping to keep the pressure up. And he was absolutely one cog in the machine of the pressure that was the hot coals that were raged against Star Wars Battlefront 2 last year. So he certainly is doing what he's setting out to do in that regard. His show also is a great instance in learning how to improve your voiceover over time. Like, his voice was never like cringy, mushmouth, terrible, like mine was when I started doing YouTube. But like his style of VO was very like repetitive and almost like shitcore BBC-ish in a way. He was just like, I'm Jimquisition. This is my point I am making. This is me continuing to talk. He would always kind of have that breathy sentence structure. But nowadays he's much better at like drawing out a point or like having a lot of theatrics in his delivery, right? But the one I really want to mention is James Rolfe with AVGN, because the AVGN is like better than it's ever been, and that like really surprises me. I was not ready for that. I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for the AVGN to be better now than it's ever been, and I'm so happy. I hope someone else can have this much enthusiasm for anything else, so that I don't seem weird for like going off about that. But yeah.
Well, I mean, you seemed really excited about that when the new episode came out, and I mean,
it's good.
I'm
realizing
glad.
this topic is going nowhere, and that sounds like I'm not really making any point.
Like,
but what the fuck ever?
Hasn't he kind of? Well, no, like he does like a bunch of shows now. Like he does Board James as well, and
Board James is over. I think it ended years ago, actually.
Years ago? No.
Like a couple years ago, I think.
No.
Well, I mean, when it comes to
Come
online
on.
creators that I've followed, I mean, Ego Raptor to some degree or another, I've been aware of probably for like 10 years. I'm not really sure if there's anybody I can think of who I still is on my radar. I mean, this isn't an online creator, but like, I mean, I've been reading One Piece for like, 15, 16 years or
True.
something at this point. But, that's not
So trippy
exactly
to
the
think
same
that
way.
some creators have been creating things on the internet for over 10 years now.
Yeah, we're at that
Pretty
point
nuts.
now.
It's so weird to me.
My internet creator that I want to bring up is actually highly relevant because he just released. He's just officially announced that he will be starting what he calls like the official like golden age of content. Like that's what he's calling it, preemptively.
Okay.
So
Is
it's
this?
that's cool.
Is it Jace?
Yes, Jace Jan
Oh,
Renkowski.
I knew it. I knew it.
I mean, do you have any details as to what that content is
Yes,
going to be?
yes.
What is this glorious
Okay.
golden age?
Okay. He is. I need to do a little bit of history first here.
It's going to be the golden age like Berserk had its golden age, which didn't end well, but we'll see how this one goes.
After Parkour Dude 91, he announced, like, I'm not going to be doing the character anymore. That's over. I'm going to do new things after he was found out. And so, spoilers, lol. And so he started to create a website called Wisdom Gun. And he made the channel Wisdom Gun, but it never really took off because all of his ideas were kind of like floundering. They could never really take off the ground due to numerous things that it's too much of weeds. Anyway, basically the website never amounted to anything, and it kind of fucked off and died, as did Jan himself. But now he's been slowly hinting. He's amassed a wealth of content, one of which that he is going to be releasing is a podcast series with both him and the Ethan, aka the editor of MDE content, John Pielsch. They're going to be doing a podcast called Radio Prozac. Where it is branded as an audio antidepressant, and they will be discussing, I assume, performance art, and getting gigs around the Rhode Island area, stuff like that. He is. If you go to the Wisdom Gun website, I'm going to link it in the description as right now. It's very, very nice. Here, I'm just gonna link the about page so you can understand why I love Jan and why he's my favorite. If you can look at this website real quick here.
Oh god.
Did this guy edit World Peace as well as like their main videos?
Did he? John Pielsch? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's some fancy work.
Yeah. So he's here. If you can see all these little pages here, you can see podcast Radio Prozac. It's not out yet, but it will be out soon, as far as I can
Pretty
tell.
quality website, yeah.
I know.
This is pretty good.
And
Why do I
and,
not see this link anywhere?
It's on the Draw
I
Friends
can't-
channel for some
There's a
reason.
tweet on the top right from Skrillex. I wish I was allowed to use the N-word sometimes, in a non-racist way, of course. Damn, Skrillex. That's a hot take if ever there was one.
It's a hot take. Oh man, yeah.
I'm really excited for the future of this because, as we all know, Jan is a performance art guy, and that's what I'm super into. And he has listed here he like all of his like different characters that he's had over the years, which makes me obviously assume that he has not given up this, and he's not going to be backing down and becoming like a an internet personality, and he's not going to become some sort of hi guys, it's the Jan Renkowski show, here I fucking am, to
But there needs to be a word
he's
for
still
that
going to
kind of
maintain
person.
characters and stuff.
Someone
Yeah.
who made stuff at one point to the point that they could get a show of them talking about the stuff that they made, and then the
Exactly.
podcast about the stuff that they made just goes on forever, and then they become just a normal person who has nothing but a podcast. There needs to be a word for that.
Faggots is my word.
Procrastinator.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So what I predict the show is going to be, it's going to be Jan and John both just fucking bitching about how they can't get any work and how they're poor as shit. Meanwhile, Jan's going to make weird fucked up sketches on Wisdom Gun, and that's the future that I want, and I hope that that's the case, and I'm super excited for it. I'm so excited, Jan. I've been waiting for you to come back. I've been waiting ever since Parkour 91. You did fucking DIY High Guy. I love that shit. I love DIY High Guy. Bring back DIY High Guy, where he plays a CIA agent who is reviewing drugs that he is put into the population.
That's dope.
Yeah. I love you.
Fantastic.
Mwah. Let's hope this goes well.
All right. Done.
Pokemon.
What's another
Pokemon.
topic?
Pokemon.
Video games.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
I have a development in video games. We were just talking about video game reviewers. I guess that's how this is related. Segue.
Okay.
I think I found my favorite video game. I think I have to officially declare Nuclear Throne as my favorite video game.
Man, I could have told you that
top 3.
years ago. I could have told you that your favorite video game was Nuclear Throne.
Are you still
literally
playing Nuclear
years
Throne?
ago.
Yeah, I don't play it as much as I used to, but like Nuclear Throne was always in top 5. But
Yeah.
I just have to admit, I play it a lot, and it's just everything that I want.
It is.
Okay,
It's basically
Nuclear Throne,
perfect.
Yeah, Nuclear Throne can be summed up in one of the lyrics of the secret stages. Quote, and I quote, "I want to clickety clack, click 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 clack that."
Yeah.
I love to click and shoot. The shooting in
kinesthetic
Nuclear Throne
experience.
is game feel. This is the definition of what game feel is to shoot your weapon in Nuclear Throne. It's my favorite fucking thing. It's the best thing in the entire world, and it's my favorite game.
I
It's
feel
my
like
favorite game.
Nuclear Throne takes place very close to where the Endless War server exists in the real world. you
Yeah.
know?
They're
Like,
definitely adjacent.
yeah, they're adjacent
Probably
for
the
sure.
desert. Probably the desert. If you walked far enough, you would find the Grand Canyon full of slime,
Can
and
we-
you
Yeah.
could
Yeah,
follow
can I
it to
just-
Neo Milwaukee, aka New Los Angeles City.
Can I just interject
Yeah.
here for a second and say, Ben, you've said something adjacent 4 times today. Is that your
that
new
true?
tism
Wait,
word right now?
did I? What do you remember what the context was?
God, you said, what did you say that was adjacent?
Wait, I don't even remember
earlier?
saying it just now.
you just said it, you just said the server was adjacent to Nuclear Throne.
Well, yeah, it's meaning that it's near it. That's,
Right, but you've said it at least 3 times since
you know-
we started our call for the last
I
episode.
do like that word a bunch, and it can be used literally or figuratively, and it will
It's
never
always,
get
it's
old.
always adjacent to your tongue, it seems.
Yeah, it's all
Hey,
Top
That-
10
that's good.
reasons. Top 10 reasons why I like Nuclear Throne. Number 1, the character
Yeah.
designs are the best character designs in anything ever made. They are the best characters. and I
they're
love
very
them.
good. They're very
Number 2, the colors are great. They aren't the best colors, but they're super poppy and vivid, and they make me feel good, and I like it. Number 3, the soundtrack is okay, but it's not that great, but I still like it anyway. Number 4, it's the best game ever made, and fuck you.
That's a pretty good list.
That's my top 10.
I think good. When you condense all your ideas into such a powerful punch, you can just stop at that point. Listen, all right, left turn time. Here we go. Here's the wild card. Here's your wild card. New topic: Japanese rain goggles. Japanese rain goggles.
What are those?
All right. Japanese rain goggles is a term used by Charlie Sheen in the 2.5 Men episode titled Ow Ow Don't Stop, aired on November 22nd, 2010. This is how it is used in context. Charlie, have you ever had a woman give you Japanese rain goggles? Alan, I've never even heard of that. Charlie, neither had I until last night, and now I don't know how I ever lived without them. So it's time to speculate. What are Japanese rain goggles? What illicit sexual act is Japanese rain goggles? Munchy,
I would
what's your
imagine
theory?
that he was just in the shower and he was like, I would sure like to be able to open up my eyes and move around and pick up the right bottle, and not have soap get into my eyes. So he probably just put on
Okay.
some Japanese rain goggles, and
That's
it was easy for
stupid.
him to maneuver in the shower and clean himself more properly.
All right, here's what I think Japanese rain goggles are. It's when you've got a woman stands over you and pisses on your face. That's what I think. That's my
Like
direct...
into your eyes though.
Well, I mean,
it's
your eyes are
something
closed,
to do with
hence
being
the
peed on.
goggles.
It's something to do
Yeah,
with being peed on.
sure.
Unfortunately, there's really no way around that.
What? It's about showering. Come on, rain. He was inside. I mean, maybe he was
Well,
just outside.
where's the
Maybe he
where's
was
the
just
sex?
outside.
Where's the sex?
Well,
in this,
Munchy,
in this act?
you know,
I don't know,
you know what a
afterwards.
golden shower is. So maybe the shower is the sex.
Yeah, a golden shower. When you use food dye at the top of your shower, head, and all of the shower comes out yellow. Yeah, and I know what you mean.
Oh.
I've been confused my entire life then. Oh.
What you've been doing isn't what you thought you've been doing.
Oh no.
Wait a minute. Perhaps milk is involved in this equation somehow.
maybe.
Could that I know because there's hashtags on this page. It says hashtag boobs. So I'm just that really got my noggin jogging.
Activating
If
those
you know what I
almonds.
mean.
Let's talk.
Ben, topic.
What?
Ben, give me a topic.
Yeah,
What's
sure,
your topic,
sure,
dude?
Well, actually, Mage, can I talk about what we're talking about right now?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
Mage found the old sketched pages from our pony comic, Shelf Depreciation.
Well,
Yeah, because
all
you
right.
mentioned it, and I was like, oh shit, I think I have them somewhere.
Wait,
And
did
I
I
found
mention
We have
that?
to go
Post
back.
them. I'll put them in the show
Did
notes.
I mention that today? No, do
I
not
haven't
put them in the
mentioned
show
it,
notes.
I
Do
think.
not put them in the show
Okay,
notes.
well, all right,
They are a
well, then
secret.
they
Why
won't
are they
be
not
there.
good enough? Are they not good enough?
No, they are a secret, and they may be revealed at some point, but it will be on our terms.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah, hey, let's talk about unfinished projects in general.
Wow, there was actually a lot of these. Holy shit.
Yeah,
you
I
guys
told
were
you.
going back
Well,
and
like
forth for a
we're
while.
really close to being done.
Actually,
we,
you know what?
I
I don't
don't
want to
have
talk
to
about
like
unfinished
finish
projects.
the line work in color,
Why not?
do we?
Because
I wanna.
well,
I guess that topic
maybe.
is an unfinished project.
Yeah, I guess so.
he's right about that. He's right about that. Personally, because I have topics or projects in the works, and frankly, I don't want to discuss them. They'll come out when they
Right.
come
All right,
out.
cool. Let's talk about how young I am. Let's talk about
Yeah.
how I'm a baby.
Okay.
And how
sure.
I am small. Because
God.
lately, I've been noticing. Wait a second. I'm like a teenager. My body sucks. I'm always moody now for some reason. I'm like making hasty decisions. I'm like always sleeping for long periods at a time. I'm like a
You're on your
teenager.
period, dude.
I'm going through puberty, guys.
You're going through you're flowering, as they say in Game of Thrones.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew. Nasty.
How did you- I don't know what to do. How do I deal with being a teenager? Like, what did
How
you
do
guys
I
do?
live without you?
Well, you know, it was interesting. I never understood what the hell a period was until Michelle explained it to me.
Wait, what?
Basically, it's just
you were
Well,
like 25.
I'm 27. Well, no, I mean, like I never understood the nuance of what it means to go through a period. Like what happens to you
wait,
physically.
until
and you're
when?
dying.
until like I don't know, 3 months ago, I guess.
What?
Well, no, guys, you're exaggerating.
No,
I
I'm
understood
not,
the gist.
you
Look, it's like
bitch.
what does it mean when hormones hit your brain on your period and make you act different than normal? Like I've never experienced
Okay,
that.
well, I couldn't give you like a
That's what I'm
fucking
saying.
biochemist's explanation.
But like,
Well-
I understand what the process of going through a period is.
I mean, yeah, you
Like, well,
you know,
what were you confused
you
about?
plant the seed,
What new
you water
insight
the
have you
seed,
gained?
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
well, okay, I mean, okay, here's what I've gained. Like, I've been around a girl a lot who's going through a period and articulates how it's different from normal in detail, and so now I understand how it changes. And what's
Well,
interesting to me,
we're asking what did you not know previously to this point?
I mean, I didn't know exactly what it is about your like. And I'm not still haven't experienced it myself, and never will, most likely.
Thanks for
But
clarifying
like,
that.
Keep telling yourself.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like now I have an idea of like how your mood is really affected, and how like it just we're all emotional creatures to some degree. But like as far as I understand it, it's not a lie. It is true that when you're on your period, your emotions are just significantly less under your control, and they just kind of run a little wild.
bullshit.
That's what I don't know.
That's what you told me.
It's because you're in pain, and so you're in pain.
Well, that's
and
not
you're
true.
on edge.
That's not what I heard. Well, Paige, what do you think?
Well, I think Munchy is a little closer because, like,
Okay.
personally, from my personal experience, the only thing that's really affects my mood is the fact that I'm in fucking pain.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
other than that,
Huh.
I really don't. No one ever noticed any other mood swings from me.
So,
You're giving you are a cartoon, Nate. You're doing the cartoon thing that cartoons
I
do.
don't
They're
like
plagiarism.
people like excusing their shitty actions by saying, "Oh, I was just on my
Yes.
period." It's
Thank
just so
you.
stupid, and I
Well,
don't want to.
It's
give
not
people this.
real.
No,
It's not true. It's
it
not a
doesn't
real thing.
Well,
You
it doesn't excuse anything. It's just like if there's a
Yeah.
cause that makes you more irritable, then fair enough.
You
it
can,
exists.
you can
like,
say I'm in
you
a
can
poor
still be
mood because I'm in
criticized.
fucking pain. But just
Yeah.
don't say like, "Oh, I'm on my period." It's okay.
Well, you
Well,
see,
so-
well, you
so are
see,
you-
the moon is upon her.
My experience.
Are you
and
telling? Well, okay.
What's been
the
related?
problem is no one knows what a hormone is in the world. No one knows what it is.
What even is a
What is
hormone?
happening right
There's
now?
there's some involvement that affects mood. Hormones affect mood.
Right. Yeah.
And
No. I've
period
definitely
involves.
It's been relayed to me that I mean, it's different for every person, obviously, but I know a person who's told me, a friend who's told me that like she people will say, "Oh, you seem to be in like you're kind of a shitty brat today. What are you, PMSing?" And she'll be like offended, being like, "Probably not, no." And then the next day she's like, "Oh, okay, you guys were right. I was PMSing, and it actually
See,
was making me a shitty brat." So there
I mean,
definitely
that-
are people who
yeah.
they are more affected than just pain. Yes.
Maybe there's degrees. Maybe some people are more affected than other people. I don't know. All I can tell you is in my experience, it seems like my girlfriend seems to have some pretty big old emotion change. And I mean, maybe being in pain is a cause of that. But I don't know.
Sounds
There's
like
Every
something more
vagina
going
has
on.
its
Sounds
own
like
special
some
Sounds
excuse
they're all
making.
different.
Well,
Sounds
sounds
fishy
fishy,
to
just like
me.
the vagina itself.
Yup.
Well, I mean, what is the case here? Like, she's not saying that, like, because that, like, this in any way excuses it. It's just like, and maybe it's possible she is just wrong, and her being in pain makes her irritable, and it's actually that makes her, act any way that's different from exactly normal. Maybe that's true, but still, the period is changing something in here.
Well, I
so
mean,
I don't
it
know.
is some sort of hormonal shift, so I'll give you that. But I don't think it's quite enough to justify any sort of like harsh behavior.
Well, whatever. Fuck it. You guys don't even know
Why
anything.
why are we on this topic? From
Yes, I
me
sure don't know
being
anything
17?
about this experience.
She's gotcha.
That's right.
She's
That's right.
gotcha.
Only I know.
You've been
Only me.
defeated. Yeah, Nate knows better than you, Mage. His girlfriend told him about it.
I read it. I've seen a lot of anime. I've seen Oshite Galko-chan.
To be fair, I mean it's different for everyone. Like some lucky people out there don't even feel the pain so much, and some people like me just have to die every month.
Exactly.
That's pretty
yeah.
funny.
I'd rather take the word of like some guy who like has a lot of female friends and is great at communication over like one like awkward weird woman who like
Any one
actually she
experience is
knows
gonna be
everything and is
anecdotal.
always wrong on everything.
Sure.
So instead of throwing shade on me.
I think
Well,
he is.
no,
I don't
not
know.
you. I'm just
know.
talking a more extreme instance. You know what I mean?
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
All right, left turn time. Who's got one? Who's got one?
Let's
first?
talk about real shit. Let's talk about like what
How
we're
do
actually
I
feeling
make a
in our lives.
timer
brought
in
one.
Python? How do I make
well-
the slime stock market fluctuate on a regular schedule? Somebody
how-
help me.
You can check the clock. I think you can do commands to like check the current time, and then I think a
There
lot
are
of people
already
might.
things that happen on a timer. I just don't know like where the timer is. You know,
You just gotta
is.
dig down and figure out where they're accessing.
Hey guys, how do I blow off conversations and just come up with new topics, pause it in an opening statement, and then immediately move on? Hey guys, let's talk about beauty now. I watched a documentary like 2 years ago about beauty, and they were talking about how modern architecture isn't beautiful, and I didn't like that. Do you guys think modern architecture is beautiful? Because
I
I
don't
do.
even know what modern architecture
Yeah,
looks
which-
like.
Wait, is
one
this
is
like that
modern
video? Is this like that
Skyscrapers.
School of Life video about the guy who insisted
oh,
that like ugly
no.
buildings are like a property developer scam?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
That I got
No.
in like a
okay.
years-long YouTube comment war debate with
Oh,
some guy.
No, here's my first thought on like modern architecture, right? We no longer like fucking send the union boys up onto the 19th floor with no equipment carrying them with like a chain so that they don't fall all the way off and die immediately. We actually have like workers' rights now, so the amount of coolness of buildings
miss
we
the
can
old
build
days.
is significantly lower, right? And there's so much more like protective government red tape involved. So like just building shit in general is a lot worse, a lot harder to do, right? You know.
Think about
Why
all
are we
the
gonna
cool buildings we're
hashtag-
gonna have when we start 3D printing building. It's gonna be.
Oh
fun.
my god.
Well,
That
When are
would
we
be
gonna
great.
legalize
think of
death?
how
We
big
need
the
to
printer
legalize
would have
death
to
again.
be.
You just build it in parts, dude.
Yeah.
We're still gonna need big printers. I
Like
guess,
there's
but I mean,
already
makes
there's
sense,
already
I
like
guess.
there's already some 3D printed houses being made in China. They're like super affordable.
in
my
Star
Okay.
Trek they have giant like industry-sized replicators that are specifically like they're huge and they're brought to different planets to just
Okay,
like replicate
awesome.
all the machinery that they need and stuff.
That's baller.
Pretty cool. Hey, but Mage had the topic of pets.
Yes.
Let's go into
I
pets.
love
Let's go into pets. That's a good one.
All right, let's just talk
What?
about
No,
pets now.
Munchy, you go first. Tell us everything you know, every fabric of your being. Go.
My dogs bark in the background of PCP episodes, and I wish I didn't have pets.
How dare you? You're so
Mage?
rude.
Yeah.
I
What's your
love,
counter
I
argument to
love
that, Mage?
pets.
I want to discipline my dogs, but my mom literally won't let me and gets mad at me when I tell them like to stop barking and try and train them to not bark.
Yeah,
That's gay.
Well,
I know.
bad.
I know that feel. I know that feel, bro.
That is bad.
That's bad, though. The dogs do
Dude,
need some training.
I have a good
They
Sorry
like
about
it.
that.
Dogs like it.
Exactly.
They like structure.
It's part
Just
of
like how
them
women
happy.
like it. Women like discipline and being brought to heel. They love it, man.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
Dude,
why.
no, that's
to the
an interesting
corner.
story.
Go directly
con-
to jail.
conflicts between like the
where I
parents and the child who actually has the dog trying to train a dog, because like my brother is a pretty good dog guy. Like he got a pretty good dog until he like got more of a life and was out of the house all the time. Now his dog is just kind of old and lonely, although there's another dog and a cat for him to keep him company, but otherwise anyway, the point is, for the longest time this dog looked really happy and stuff, and but like he was trying to like train him on like, you know, water spray bottle stuff, and I think actually this may have been with a second dog that ended up running away. I don't remember. The point is he was trying to train the dog with water spray bottle, and my mom would often grab the spray bottle and like use it in a way that was incongruent with my brother's spray bottle policy, right? And he's like, "Dude, Mom, you can't confuse their understanding of the spray bottle's
Exactly.
That's
executive power."
true, that's
and there's
true.
one point where we're all sitting in the living room and the dog does something, and like my mom doesn't use the spray bottle like fast enough or something, or like she's about to start spraying the dog and spritzes it a little bit, but Aaron's like, no, and he just sort of instinctively grabs the bottle out of my mom's hand, and my dad like flips shit on him, like,
And
"You do not
instinctively
grab
decks
shit
my
out of
mom,
your
you know,
mom's
just,
hand,"
you know.
and Aaron's just sitting there, just like taking it, being like, It's like, you will, you know, like my dad was being all mad and like, you know what? Fuck you all. Let him raise the fucking dog correctly. Whenever anything negative happens at all as a result of dogs, I'm like, you motherfuckers asked for this, bringing those shitty things into the house.
Sure. Sure.
Well, I was about to
I
say, my whole
fucking-
point is like, I don't want pets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate animals at all.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
hate having responsibility. Any
Yes.
responsibility
That's
that I
fair,
can
that's fair.
dodge, I will dodge with extreme
Yeah,
prejudice.
Tom.
Dodge.
How are we so on the wavelength about this one?
Because we're both fucking lazy, dude.
I'm
Yeah, if
so
you're the kind of
lazy.
person-
Why would I volunteer to have more responsibility?
It's
Right.
I mean, I think of that as well. It's a matter of efficiency. Like, if I have a dog, I am going to need to spend time out of my day doing it.
And,
but
like-
I do have fond memories of having a dog, so I
don't
wouldn't
know.
hate it.
I mean,
over
I
all those
liked-
things.
Sad boys.
I liked the dogs that we had, but like that doesn't make me like want to love a new one, you know?
Yeah.
I do want a dog. I don't have one now, and I'd very much like to have one eventually. But like, I'm not going to get one until I like feel stable enough. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna move eventually, and I don't particularly love where I live right now.
I
It's too
feel a
small.
dog would suit you, Nate. Suit your lifestyle.
I agree. Like a dog,
You
like
can
a
get on
big
walks
dog that
and
just
stuff.
chills out and hang. Yeah, I actually like whenever I'm home with my parents, I like volunteer to take the dog for walks because I just enjoy doing
You
it.
should get a dog that matches your
you know?
personality, a dog that can be in your videos. Go to
Golden
Google.com and
Retriever.
search
Golden
like dogs that work well for jump cut
they're such
vlogs.
good boys.
They are good boys. I'd
Yeah.
like
I
a
love
golden.
them.
You are a
golden
golden
retrievers
retriever.
are the sweetest dogs.
You could have the
And,
best
Nate,
dog ever,
Nate,
dude.
yeah,
Best
Nate's
dog
gonna
ever.
have to start.
That's true.
Nate'll have to start an Instagram account for his dog, just called Best Boy Ever.
Oh, I love those.
Good
I
idea.
love the animal Instagrams. I love those. I love
Those
those.
are good.
so
Ah,
much.
Those are
best
good.
boy.
He will be the biggest
the
MGTOW
Patreon
dog
for
who
his
ever
dog's
lived.
Instagram will like dwarf his, and then he'll just kill himself.
Hey man, it's all good. It's all good as far as I'm concerned.
I have
Yeah,
I have
I
a
want a
cat.
dog.
I'm more of a cat person. I love dogs,
Sure,
but like for me personally, like cats are a lot more low maintenance than dogs. I'd
Then
say.
you know where I'm
Sure.
coming from, Mage. I just take it a step further.
Yeah.
And it's just it goes well with my lifestyle. Also, cats. At least the cats I've owned in the recent past, specifically this my current cat. They're very sweet and cuddly, and I like the routine of I wake up in the morning and I go to my room and my cat greets me with a friendly meal, and then like
my
we have
God.
like a 5-minute pet and snuggle
How the
session.
hell?
It's just he's such a
Our
boy.
family's cat is
That's
the
nice.
biggest bitch of all time, and she sucks. She just is always just like jumping up in your shit, just like, give me food, faggot. Give me food.
Move
Yeah,
now.
that's annoying.
And
that's
then
annoying.
I'm just like, go away, and that's all it is. As soon as you don't,
Welcome,
There's a ghost.
oh my
God, the
God.
ghost
in the
is
call.
here.
I'm so fucking upset. I'm angry. I'm gonna kill everyone here. I'm the wildest
Why?
fucking card
Oh,
in the world. It's me, the Lord of Ghosts.
Ah, he's so scary.
I come from behind the grave. And I don't like it. I don't like it here. I don't like it anywhere. I don't like any of you. I'm gonna shoot you with my ghost gun.
Oh God.
Hippo, you are
Christ.
Well, this
clipping
took an
the audio
unexpected
all
turn.
of
This
the
is a
fucking
real
way.
Yes,
left
in the
turn.
soul.
Hey, Hippo. We're talking about cats. Talk about Luna.
Oh, my cat's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
talking about
good,
cats.
Good,
That's
good
true.
cats. We both have good cats.
She does funny things. She jumps around. Oh, I pick her up like Simba, and she just licks my finger and flops over, and I can pick her up upside down, and she's just like, I don't know what's going on. I like cats.
Have you ever suplexed your cat?
What?
Well,
Ben
hold-
suplexes our dog all the time. It's his favorite activity. Or,
Well,
when we
she's
lived.
asking for it.
This is a serious question that, like, I'm wondering if this is normal. This is serious. Do you throw your cat ever?
Throw my cat?
I mean,
Yeah, do you-
I will pick up Rigby and kind of like give her a little toss like out a door if I don't want her in
Yeah.
there. But that's
I
not,
will
like, a
I will
throw.
give her a little toss out of a door, but most of the time I can put her down and she will just walk forwards because she's an idiot.
Yeah.
I know this guy who, like, throws his cat for, like, fun.
Damn.
Like,
Does the
like,
cat think it's
well,
fun?
well, no, yeah, he picks up the cat and, like, throws it onto the bed as, like, a plaything. Is that normal? Or should I be
Well,
calling the
yeah.
authorities?
Cats are pretty dainty. Cats can handle themselves. Like
Yeah,
if you,
cats-
a dog could handle that
a cat,
less.
you
know?
can hurt a cat. Like cats are not immune. Cats are not immune
Yeah.
to being harmed by a flight through the air.
No, this is really bad. Okay, like, I'm not a cat expert. Like, I'm not an animal expert. However, like with cats, when you pick them up, it's important for both of their like for all of their legs to be on a surface so they can trust you. And in case of an emergency, they can like run away because they can jump off of something. If you hold them in a way that they don't have like a support, they're not gonna be comfortable and they're not gonna trust you. So the fact that he throws the cat, he's losing the cat's trust, and that's bad.
But the cat keeps coming back to him.
Well, of course it's gonna come back to him because he feeds her or him.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I
Cats
guess for
are
the authorities to
wild
decide.
cards. They don't obey any fucking orders.
What's the
They'll
wildest
do
thing you've ever
anything.
done, Lord of Ghosts?
Yeah.
The wildest thing I've ever done is I went to the Wild West and I played the piano in the saloon, and then the guy came in with the gun, and he was like, "I'm the big swinging dick. Who's the sheriff? I'll shoot him." And then I shot him with my ghost gun.
Were you? How old are you?
Damn.
Oh, over 9,000 or so.
Oh my god!
Okay.
Your ghost,
sounds-
your ghost gilly gains are up too high. It's giving me a ghostly earache.
I can only speak in 100% gain.
Fair.
The curse, I guess, that he got when he was a ghost.
No, it's just a personal preference, but I really, really like it.
okay.
Hippo, what was it like being a teenager?
Let's just
Yeah, how was your
say I
first
shot up a
period?
few schools.
Yeah, what was your first period?
My first period was sometimes English, sometimes maths. Fucking, I don't know. I hate school. I hate life. I am still in school. I feel like a teenager. I am still
School
a
of Hard
teenager.
Knocks. School of Hard Cocks is where I reside, if you know what I'm saying, my
Wow.
dudes.
Gross.
I came from the school
Shame.
of Roblox, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, man.
Damn. Damn, dude.
I would like to. Okay, I wish RuneScape you could control it like a normal video game and not the way you control it, because I would love to get into RuneScape. It's just it controls so badly that I could never do it.
RuneScape is definitely a product of the times of before video games were good.
What about RuneScape 3, the new one? Is that any
RuneScape
good?
3 is the exact same game, but the graphics are very intensive and it's full screen, which means that it controls like shit, and it also sometimes makes your computer buffer and lag, which is the worst thing of all time.
That sounds demonstrably worse.
It is terrible.
I
less
love the way
polygons,
old
the
RuneScape
best.
looks, but it feels so awful to like click to move. It's the worst game feel you could possibly have. It's so awful.
I mean, it's not the only game that does that. Diablo 2 and
Sure.
shit did that, and-
It's one of those things where, like, if you have grown up with it, then you will have no problem going back, but you can't go back from knowing Call of Duty. Ghosts.
RuneScape.
Ghost. What do you guys think of Dragon Ball Z? What do you think about that show from the 90s?
Vegeta should have been the main character. He was the only one with an interesting arc and had interesting character motivations that grew as the series progressed. Goku's
That's
so
true.
flat and boring, and I don't like him.
Vegeta was my first Dragon Ball crush.
Are you just referring to American Goku? Japanese Goku is far more
No,
interesting. and
Japanese
dynamic.
Goku's even worse. He has like no personality at all. The problem with Goku is that he was designed for the original Dragon Ball, which was a comedy series. He's a comedy protagonist in a shonen series that's just like a straight action show, and it doesn't work.
Sounds
I
legit to me.
want to read original Dragon Ball because it seems kind of cool, dude. When I was like 6,
Yeah, I've been meaning to forever.
my friend Rocky, who was shit at Wii Sports, as you all legendarily know,
Right.
he showed me like an anime adaptation of the original Dragon Ball, and when like Goku like slapped Bulma's pubic region, I was
Yeah.
so fucking mortified. That shit was
Yeah.
crazy to me. I literally
intense,
thought we
dude.
were watching porn. That's what I thought.
It's so
Dragon
weird
Ball,
whenever
the
someone-
original series, has a lot of porn in it. There's lots of
Yeah.
gay
Yeah.
sex and boobies actually
It's
in
weird,
the
'cause whenever-
pages.
Throughout all my life, people will like make the joke, haha, Dragon Balls, haha, and then like no
Nice.
one knows that like Dragon Ball itself literally did that fucking joke in like chapter 2.
Yes,
Damn.
there's a point where Goku is explaining to Oolong what the Dragon Balls are, and then Oolong says, "You mean a dragon's that poor guy?" Like he made the joke.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, like
No,
really
it was
early.
earlier. No, it was fucking when he like looks up.
I
Dan's
remember
skirt,
that
and it's
particular
like the balls
one.
are
They
gone.
made that
the
joke
balls are
100
gone.
times.
They did 100 times. I only ever read like the first couple chapters. Yeah.
Let's talk about Soul Eater.
No,
Okay.
Saw-
God,
shit,
the
I had a
anime.
Soul Eater
The
experience
anime
recently.
and the end of the anime was so bad.
I
Yeah,
It's
saw
but
so
the middle of the
bad.
anime was so good.
I
Wait,
saw
what?
a picture of Soul Eater, and it
Yeah.
looks like the best anime ever.
Yeah,
It-
it looks
The
great.
aesthetic of Soul Eater is really cool. I've never watched it.
I've
but
only
keep
seen a
one of
couple
those things I'm
episodes. I
really
didn't
should,
like
'cause it
the
I
looks
way
awesome.
that the show is.
I don't remember the ending.
good
though,
anime.
well,
I
so-
really like the anime. It has a terrible ending that is completely different from the manga. Because I don't think
The manga actually has a shit ending too. Cause,
You
like,
know, we
it's
should
kinda-
get like a really good Soul Eater reboot. That would be fun.
The problem is the manga just stopped, and like it was very awkward and not planned out because it just the series just like kind of petered out. So that's
I
it
had a
just, like,
Soul Eater
doesn't have a good
experience
An
ending.
anime
Yeah.
original ending, dude.
Okay, so
I
recently
mean that was really bad too. I don't know. It was all bad. but
I'm saying that it could be a reboot that has a good ending. Is what I'm saying.
well, okay, but they have to, oh right. If they wrote an anime original one, that's true. But like the middle of the anime is one of the best ever. I mean, it's so
This
good. Everything with
podcast
Asura
sucks. What is the
awakening.
hell is this topic?
Well, that's the point.
hey,
It's supposed
before we
to be
lose
bad.
topic,
It's
I
not
want
that
to
it
keep talking about
sucks,
Soul
it's
Eater.
not about
I just had a
anything.
fucking Soul Eater thing that happened. So
If
like
the topic is wild cards and the idea and gimmick of the thing is that we are talking about anything, why the hell are we talking about RuneScape and anime?
I
Yeah,
brought up
dude,
RuneScape.
Munchy.
right after I
He
say this one
said
other
the
thing related to Soul Eater. So like I'm at my
No,
Why wouldn't we
anime
be?
is
Why
bad
wouldn't
and
we
it's
be?
not good.
No,
Wait, what
shut
do you-
up.
what do you
I am
want to talk
saying
about,
this
Hippo?
fucking thing about Soul Eater. God damn it.
all right.
So I'm at my new flashy fucking apartment, and one of my fucking girlfriend's friends comes over, right? And I haven't met this person in person before, and she's wearing a fucking Soul Eater shirt, and I'm like, Soul Eater, yeah. So then like over the course of like 20 minutes, I'm like kind of like tapping that like angle of like, oh,
I'm just tapping that, you know, I'm just
Soul
casually
Eater,
tapping that.
yeah, you know, anime, and I'm like figuring out like what her opinion is on Soul Eater, and like trying to like, you know, nudge in there to like have a Soul Eater conversation, and then
Did she
after
have a
like
totally
20
plebe
minutes
opinion?
and 4 taps, I realized, and I asked her, oh, you just have that shirt. Someone just. You just knew someone who had that. You needed a shirt, and
That's
they gave
a
you that
nightmare
shirt, didn't they?
situation.
She's like,
That reminds me of
yeah. I was realizing the
part in the
vacant look in
comic
her
of
eyes
Ben's
every time I brought it
comic.
up. Like she's like obviously not actually watching
Oh, the
Soul Eater
girl.
ever.
The girl
Yeah,
who didn't know
with
what the Pooba was.
Yes.
Do not
Oh,
be
yeah.
do not be that girl, ladies and gentlemen. Go and read Vapors 1 and then buy the pin, and then when you get your pin, you will be well prepared to handle it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Wait, are
true.
you gonna do that for your website? Like, if you ever have a popular franchise, in order to buy the merch, you have to like pass a test on the internet to make sure
my
you
God,
actually.
that was so
understand
That's a
cool.
good idea. That's
That
a
way
funny
you can't
I
get
have
any
been
fucking
told-
cred
Maybe.
fag
It is
money.
pretty. I might do it just because it's funny.
Because
Nah,
you wouldn't
I
want any of that
totally
filthy
might steal
cred
it.
fag money, right?
Back the Kickstarter, but not to read the comic. People have told me to do this, and I am going
Why?
to honor their request. I'm going to wear that pin all over the place and not know what it means.
On the topic of you having a Poobah pin, I want to talk about how I literally want to have a purse. When I went to BronyCon the first year, I got the sick ass shit. I got a satchel. I got a satchel that was supposed to be like a mailbag, and it was Derpy Hooves theme, and it was
Nice.
so fucking useful and swag as shit, dude. I was able to put pens on it. It was Derpy Hooves theme. I could store shit in it. Now when I'm walking around, I have my fucking portable chargers. I want to play Pokemon Go. I got my wallet. I got all this fucking proliferous shit. I got the Pokemon Go Plus. I want to store that in a purse. I don't want to have to fucking carry that in my pockets. I
Yeah.
need a purse. I want to bring back the
Munchy.
satchel.
Munchy,
Satchels are
just
you can
do it.
Yeah,
Satchels aren't even gay. You can wear like I had a bag that was it was
I
like
had
a
a bag.
laptop
Yeah, I had
I had a
satchel
satchel
for, my,
for a while in,
when
like,
I was when I was
2015.
using my Surface and stuff. Like
It's
my,
just-
my buddy gave me like a satchel bag, and I just carried the Surface. And
Yeah,
that with
as
all my
long as
books and
basically the
everything.
rule is for men, you know, as long as the thing that contains the shit that you carry on your person isn't that conveniently shaped or designed for which to pull stuff in and out of, then it doesn't look wrong.
Well, I mean, if you just call it a purse, that's the issue. You
I
just
don't-
can't call it a purse.
Munchy, I would even say if
You'll
you
be
want just a
destroyed.
fucking purse, just get a purse. Who fucking cares?
Because
I mean, that's
Yeah.
the real answer, but I'm just telling you, you know, there could be societal ramifications of
You know,
proudly saying
The
you
man
carry
who
a
runs
purse
around in a
everywhere.
pwhat pepperoni onesie is gonna be worried about wearing a purse.
I'm
What a
just
great
realizing.
point.
All right,
I'm
all
just
right.
realizing. Scroll up and you see the second image. You see Popey, the guy on the left. I literally, if I were to have a satchel, I would look like him. Imagine like the pepper, like his, like onesie thing. That's the pepperoni
yeah.
pizza jumpsuit. If I have a satchel on, then I'll have the jester hat. And I have the floppy like bunny ears. I will literally look like him.
You will. You'll look
Yeah.
just like him. That's true.
And who
That's
wouldn't
true.
want to look
Pretty
like
cool.
that?
I do think we
The-
need
the
to
only thing
enter a
that's
world
gay-
where everyone has like a bag. Like, you know, even a higher percentage of women are probably having bags because we're entering a society where we carry shit around. That's why the fucking Nintendo Switch Cup was able to be successful. Wouldn't have been successful 10 years ago.
Where am I gonna put my future Switch if
Yeah.
I don't have a satchel bag?
Yeah.
There is the
right,
answer. I
he's
could
right.
get a backpack.
Fanny pack?
But I
Fanny
feel
pack?
like
Oh,
a
okay.
backpack is too like schooly. You know,
I
like, don't
hate
want to
I
seem.
hate backpacks.
Yeah.
Backpacks
Yeah.
are awful. Because like
They're-
if you want to
they're
get
inconvenient.
something out of a backpack, you have to take it off, and like fuck that.
Hippo, the dark ghost left.
He didn't sync his audio. He didn't sync his.
Nope. Well, we'll figure it out.
Well, as long as he doesn't
Oh,
break
guess
his
I'm- guess
recording,
I'm
we'll be
fucked.
fine.
Great.
As long as he
Well,
doesn't break his recording, he'll be
let's-
fine.
It's true.
Let's talk about fishing.
Yeah,
I think.
You know what? I think I'd
I-
probably be able to enjoy it now if I had a
Immoral?
podcast.
Definitely immoral. Highly
Oh my
recommended.
god, a shipping podcast! Or no, fishing, sorry.
What the fuck?
What if we like
where's
all
your
went on a
mind at?
fishing trip and like while we were fishing, we did a podcast about fishing?
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
less.
that's
That'd be interesting.
great.
I've
be
gone
alright.
fishing before.
You
It's
guys
pretty
would
cool.
probably be too loud and scared all the fishes.
That's
Oh.
a good point. You're definitely right about that.
The only time that I went fishing, I went with my
Welcome
crackhead
back, Dark
cousin.
Ghost.
Oh hi.
And that's why I believe that ISIS is really my best friend and the only one that
Oh,
deserves
damn it.
my penis.
We missed it. Well, shit.
I
Oh,
was
well.
talking the entire time.
Really?
Oh, well, I'll join
no,
Al-Qaeda
I
instead,
chimed in a
guess.
couple times for funny, like, ghost, like, disconnected things. I will be sure to add incredible reverb to them. Don't worry about that.
Yay.
Guys,
I mean, I know
what,
you live
what
in
do you
fucking
think
Europe.
about
I'm sure we'll
like
have ISIS sound.
committing like YouTube suicide? What do you think
Okay,
about
go on.
like deliberately
Oh.
trying to make the worst videos of all time, as I will do as soon as I start making hypocrite videos again? That is
Uh-huh.
my plan, to lose all credibility and kill everything that I could ever have.
Why? What is motivating this plan?
Because being serious doesn't work.
Okay, so you just want to be a
I want to
city
be
boy?
a wild card. I want to be
Oh.
a fucking madman. I want to
I
be
mean, some people
broken.
can make that work. Some people can make that work.
I'm basically literally broken in real life, so it seems about right.
I suppose authenticity is pretty good in the
I mean,
internet world.
people might be attracted to the narrative of a YouTuber losing his mind, you know? Like someone who just made, like, game reviews all of a sudden.
It's not about attracting new people. It's about being real as shit. It's about being a raw, fucking untamed wild card. It's
about being a
you,
raw
you,
onion.
you think he wants to be like, oh, you know what? If I portray this character arc of me becoming broken, no, he's like, fuck everyone. Well, I don't just speak. You speak.
No,
I don't wanna
you're,
fuck-
you're
Yeah,
getting it
yeah.
all correct. You're getting it all
Yeah.
squared away.
You're-
I
you're
want
fed
to
up
be,
with shit. Yeah,
I'm
you
fed
just
up.
wanna be the guy.
I just want to lash out at the world, and YouTube is
Okay.
funny.
Do you want to make
I'm gonna do it
like
there.
really fucked up videos or just really lazy and easy videos?
No, I'm gonna do fucked up easy
Okay.
videos. I'm gonna ruin every video idea I've ever had.
Well, here's
and
what you
then
could do.
It's gonna exist.
You could
and it's gonna
become
be fucking
you could
cool.
become some sort of like evil universe SNES drunk, but for PS1 and 2. So like basically you review every PS1 and 2 game, but the reviews are really bad and like nauseating to watch, right?
Or you could just do what you want.
Yes, I'm not
Doing you
thinking
want
of a
what you
plan.
want.
The plan part is
mean,
not
yeah,
part
yeah.
of the plan.
Okay.
All right, guys. It's time to get to the heart of the matter. Video games.
Video
games.
Video,
I love video
games are
games.
awesome.
What?
Awesome
Should we
video
all
video
stop
games.
playing them right now
No.
forever? Would we
Video
all be better
games-
off to just
video
stop?
games peaked at PS2 and Xbox.
My favorite video game
No,
is
video
Endless
games peak-
War.
Video game, yes.
No, that's a bad video game.
I mean,
Don't
it's
play
not a
that.
video game. It's a text.
Well, then why would I play it, Ben?
It's
Riddle me
not
that.
a video game. It's just, you know, let me get the quote.
lifestyle?
It's just, let me get the quote. No. Keep talking while I get the quote. And it'll be
It
really
is a
funny.
lifestyle.
it's an
though.
experience. It's an
A
experience
bad-
generator.
it's a bad lifestyle. Sure.
It is a shared. It's
Text.
Oh,
it's
oh.
text-based real-life pro wrestling is what it is.
It's not a
Okay.
video game. It's electronic software, which only manages
What?
to cause emotional anger within the human brain due to its unnaturally advanced levels of frustrational design choices.
Are we
That's
talking
what it
about
is.
Windows right now? 'Cause that's what
Yeah.
it sounds like.
Oh.
We're talking
Video
about
games
the
are
greatest
so
Discord
incredible.
server
Overton.
/ video game of all time.
Video games are an entire galaxy with billions of planets.
Mario.
You can just go and live on one your entire
Yeah.
life, you know?
Mario
Like-
Sunshine is the best 3D Mario.
Yeah, stuff like that.
no,
can
because
spend
you're forgetting
years
about,
just
all
analyzing
the
the
bad
3D
ones.
Mario games. Like I have finally, as of like this week, gotten hardcore into Pan and Coix videos after like years of watching him sometimes, but like not caring that much because most of them don't have his voice. But like now I've finally gotten like hardcore into the actual programming and design of M64. There's so much interesting shit to learn about that game. Like how there are no invisible walls. It's just that anything that doesn't have a floor beneath it is impassable out of bounds, which is so much more elegant of design than how most games are, where you can potentially find a little hole in the wall and then go out into infinity, right? So just watching people study how to beat Super Mario 64 without any A presses or like get every coin in the game, which is actually much more impossibly difficult than you think. Just that one game is an entire universe of possibility, an entire hobby unto itself. That's the power of video games.
You know, I could
would
say-
agree with that,
yeah.
except that most games are not that funny. Like
Right,
most
but
games,
there's
most
enough.
games that don't have the length and the breadth and the girth of Mario
Right,
64
no,
in terms
only-
of like weird
I
shit
think
you
they
can
were
learn
just-
about it.
Right.
Those
only
guys
like
just had, they were approaching
0.3%.
things completely freshly because it was like the first 3D game in the world, basically.
Right, yeah.
And
So it's
they were
programmed
just
really weirdly, but it's
unrestrained.
programmed very well. Yeah, but yeah, it's true. Only like 0.3% of games are going to be like that, but there's enough games for that 0.3% to add up to a shitload of possibilities. If you just like open your mind and like be creative and
Ooh, I like
explorative, there's a
opening
lot
my
to learn.
mind.
Like, I don't know if anybody listening has been like watching the speedrunning YouTube videos that have become popular. It's become a new genre of like analysis videos to talk about speedrunning. And one such thing is like this guy Summoning Salt, who Hippo introduced me to, and I'm sure you may have heard of him too from Hippo, who just like does compilation history explanations of how people improved the world record of certain games. And it's really interesting because you can learn about what's cool about speedrunning without having to actually watch the fucking long, drawn out speedruns, you know? So there's so many. You can spend all your time just following new games, new AAA scenes. You can spend all your time just following the Steam games, the indie games. You can spend your whole time just following one particular console. You know, just the SNES is an entire fucking like genre that you could spend your entire life learning about.
You know, when it comes to modern game design, I was tempted to say at first that people have gotten lazy. Like all the creativity that came with like making Mario 64 and stuff, that people are like too lazy to invest the time to do that, and they just are happy to just use what other people have done before them, and it's stifled that. But as opposed to laziness, I suppose I actually want to call it actually a lack of creativity, and it's that like people aren't thinking. I mean, it's like you got a game like Final Fantasy 15, for example, that like 1 million people worked on for 1 million hours. Why isn't it by far the best game ever made?
Right.
And the reason,
It's because you know the problem with games are right now they're too big.
Yeah.
Games have
They are-
become
yeah,
too
for
big.
sure.
Because
that's why the indies are our only hope.
right because
Yeah.
like you have movies. I mean, games have the same problem that movies do. Is that their budgets have become so bloated that you can't take risks anymore. You have
And
to
the
bet
machine has
safely or
become
you're
so
gonna fucking
huge.
tank your entire company.
The machine that produces it.
Right.
It's like there's no one human in control anymore. My understanding is that Hollywood movies, for instance, no one really knows where the fucking money goes. That's how much it's a machine now more than man, right? And video games are getting there. And, you know, it's just the AAA scene is becoming
Stop
less and
fucking
less.
typing, you stupid motherfuckers.
Is less and
Alright,
less
please do
like
it.
the definitive place where games are hot, and it's more like this weird bloated section unto itself, you know what I mean? Like, even though it's still where most of the money is, I think it's going to gradually become less relevant to a higher and higher percentage of gamers. And I think that right now it's mostly backed by sort of older gamers who at this point are becoming old and their taste is becoming boring. You know, like if you're some fucking, like you're basically an old man if the highlight of your gaming experience is to play the new Assassin's Creed every time it comes out, you know? You're just sort of following your
Well,
traditional
you know,
path without really
I-
enjoying much creativity.
When it comes to the future of games development, I legitimately think we will never experience anything like the late PS1, PS2 days.
Late 90s,
and
early
it's not
2000s.
because it's not because like people will never be good at making games. It's because I think technology is progressing too fast, and rather than we like people, you know, like resources get good enough so now you can make like a Final Fantasy 15 that's like actually good and rewarding like all the way through. Even though and while maintaining like the standards that like the mass audience expects today, instead of that, I think we are just getting to virtual reality that is going to be too good, and like no one will even think to play like a PS1 or a PS2 Final Fantasy game or anything like that. It's just now we just have life in virtual reality that's like 100% pleasure all the time.
we're not
like
there
why
yet.
the hell
We're
will
not
we
even
go?
close.
I know there's a ways. I just think doing the math in my head, I think it's more likely that we get there, or you know, we start to move in that direction before
Well,
we
Nate,
like actually make good games again.
How much are you paying attention to like the indie scene?
Not a lot.
Because
Not a lot.
Right, there
the
is
technology is at
shitloads.
the place now where
Yeah.
there's teams of 1 to 2 people making PS2 games.
Right.
Well, that's
So,
cool.
like,
That's
Like,
cool.
like if you want to look up a game called Astrocat, there's just one person making a PS2 platformer called Astrocat. It's essentially
Okay.
what it is.
That's
It
great.
looks
I really want
gorgeous.
more fucking. I want a fucking collectathon platformer that doesn't have realistic lighting, like Hippo would say. Fucking so. the thing is about, Nate, what you were getting at with the realism of games and how they're getting so realistic. One of the things about video games, like any other medium, but video games are worse at this, is that they can be enjoyed in a very unartistic way as well as artistic way. And usually the artistic, quote unquote, and the unartistic way, mediums are sort of separated. Like, no one's going to be watching the new reality shows, fucking Cupcake Storage Unit Housewives 3, and thinking that this might take away some of the quality from the next HBO show. You know what I mean? So, similarly speaking, video games, like a lot of people like me, I come to it to be like, ooh, what kind of stories can video games tell? What kind of color theory can I have my fucking world rocked about, right? What kind of interesting thing can I learn, But a lot of people are still sort of in the phase of like, oh wow, this game will simulate the act of soccer slightly more realistically than the last game. There's just sort of going in there for like a simulation, or as just sort of just sort of like a tool in a way, sort of like a recreational tool that they're using, and that's perfectly fine. And I think more and more that's what even the Ubisoft games are becoming. They're almost becoming jump around on architecture simulator, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the intentions for what these people are going for is very different. The reason why this is distracting to us and makes it seem as though video games are losing their creativity is because that's where most of the money is, obviously, and that is a problem. But I think it will self-rectify before too long. I think we'll eventually have sort of what people call the AA infrastructure will finally be rebuilt again. And I don't think we're ever going to have an era where things are as consistently impressive as they were from the 90s and early 2000s, just because we were still figuring out how to make video games back then. Same way as how we're never going to have an era where analysis videos are as consistently impressive as they were from 2011 to 2015 or so, because we were still figuring out what analysis even was, so everything was constantly innovative and new. But now we're in the phase where there's way too much bloated sameness, and eventually it's probably going to even out. Or people,
the pack of 52 playing cards is a better game than every other video game. And the reason is that you don't need to fucking think about finding an outlet. You don't need to think about having a battery charge. You can just have it. You bring it out of your little satchel. You bring it out of your purse, you put it on the table, you can play hundreds of fucking games on that fucking 52 cards.
That is good. That is an
It's
inspiring
so much better than anything else.
But
I can't believe people even fucking play chess. You need a board for that. Get out of here.
Well, okay, the reason I somewhat...
Nintendo DS... Shit.
He's right. I mean, you're right. But the reason I sort of disagree with Devoot on some level here is because... when I hear about guys like Satoru Iwata, who was willing to invest a bunch of his fucking time to make Pokemon Gold, to invent a whole new memory saving structure, whatever the fuck it was, that allowed to put double the size of the world into a Pokemon cartridge. I'm god damn, I'm so impressed by the hard work people are willing to put in these base level concepts that were important to make amazing games. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm retarded, maybe I don't know anything about actual games development, but it just seems like nobody gives a fuck anymore, and they're just whatever, man, just churn it out as fast as possible. People want a new Final Fantasy title, churn it the fuck out. Who cares if it's good or bad?
Just
get it out there and make as much DLC as possible.
Yeah. It's so fucking weird every time I think about how the first 10 Final Fantasies all came out back to back, basically, year after year. And then all of a sudden, it's because no one fucking counts the MMOs, and even those are forever, every fucking Final Fantasy game is a whole 2 generations of gaming history unto itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so
Devu,
weird.
I tuned in towards the end of that, and you were talking about how analysis, the reason analysis was good is because you were figuring
anarchy,
out what
basically.
it was, and you were figuring out, how can I make this bigger? It was constant improvement, but now that everyone knows, okay, this is how you make a successful analysis video on YouTube. It's all the same shit.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've been thinking about that a lot. I've been thinking about,
That's why the
more
bots
about
can
how
do it
nostalgia
now.
is a drug and how it's not even useful, and introspection doesn't even work, and it just makes you feel stupid, and it wastes your time. Think about the past. Everything before today doesn't even matter. It's all old.
Not to throw shade on the guy, but does anyone watch a Captain Christian video and do anything better with their life than they would have done otherwise? Has anyone ever done that?
I
No.
honestly
The
stopped
answer is
watching
no.
Captain Christian on Video 3.
And I'm not throwing a
Christian,
shade at that
is that
guy.
a
He just
cereal?
he's just Nerdwriter 2. He's Nerdwriter 2.
Well, yeah, I mean, the fucking analysis explosion is all
Who the
Nerdwriter's
fuck
fault.
is Nerdwriter 2? Is that a
Oh,
cereal?
you know. Yes. Well, actually,
Oh,
Nerdwriter 1
fucking
is actually his name. It's Nerdwriter 1, so I bet there
Yeah.
should be a Nerdwriter 2, you know? It should be a thing.
He fucking pours milk at the beginning of every video in slow motion. He's a fucking cereal.
Yeah.
You're right.
Do we have anything else to say? Is there anything else to say here?
I like
There's
Waluigi.
nothing to say.
When is he gonna get a game on the Nintendo?
Is
Switch?
Luigi
I know,
gonna be in
right?
Smash Brothers or
Smash.
what?
Yeah, yeah, what the
Smash
fuck?
Bros. Waluigi needs to be in.
Do you think the new Smash game is like a port, or do you think it's going to be Smash 5?
It's real. It's not a
man.
port. That's a meme.
Oh man,
People
guys,
are
speaking of
retarded.
Waluigi, here's a topic. Characters in a fictional thing that everyone, at least for a while, pretends to hate, even though there's literally no reason to hate them. You know what I mean? You know what I'm fucking
Are you talking about Ben Saint, the character
I'm
of the
talking
PCP?
about Waluigi. Where like I think our generation
Secretly the
embraces
Dark
Waluigi.
Horse.
But before, back when, like in the G4 era and shit, everyone was always being like, "Oh, Waluigi's a shitty character." Everyone said that, and I'm like,
Well, he's not exactly well developed.
yeah, but like, which fucking Mario character is by contrast? What in the fuck even? It's not like Waluigi's even like a recolor. Like, I understand why people lay that complaint down at Shadow or Silver, right? But fucking Waluigi's like a
Yeah.
totally different design that makes a whole lot of sense and completes
I think it's
the
the upside down L. Honestly, I think it has everything to do with the fact that that upside down L is super retarded. It
Yeah, that doesn't make any
sense.
sense. But other than that, it's like that doesn't yield anything negative for the character. Like, I
That's- yeah, I
I
guess
remember
not.
actually way back in the day
Wait,
on the Nintendo.
Isn't the joke for the upside down L because the upside down M is W for Wario?
Right, that's
I
fucking
mean,
hilarious.
that's
It-
true,
It,
but,
no
like,
longer makes sense
Waluigi
anymore, and that's
and
exactly
upside
what's
down
good
L.
about it. Like, it's taken the concept.
Maybe in Japan he's called Ruigi, and that's the idea.
'Cause it looks
He
kinda like an
actually
arm,
is.
yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't it look kind of like a Greek
now it
letter or
makes
something?
sense.
Somebody was saying that.
Yeah,
it
but
looks
like-
a, I don't know, a phi or
But dude,
I don't
like,
know what it was.
I remember way back in the day on the Nintendo Insider forums with all the little kiddie Nintendo fans, hot off the GameCube era, right? They had like a little poll, like a little personality test. Which Mario character are you? You know, Mario, Luigi, Wario, or Waluigi in that order, and you could tell which one was which based on the questions. And my favorite one was, if you're walking through the street and you're seeing a lady getting her purse robbed by a purse snatcher, what would you do? So option one, you know, stomp down on the criminal and give the purse back to the woman. Option two, run away and call the cops. Option three, stomp the purse snatcher, hand the lady the purse after you take out whatever you want from it, right? Then option
Sure.
four was cause trouble for both the lady and the purse snatcher and leave them both cringing and regretful. And I'm like, that is Waluigi, right?
Damn.
But he's one of many characters where, like, I don't know, no other great examples come to mind immediately. But just characters in general where everyone's like, oh, I hate that character, as if, like, it makes them cooler for hating someone else. It's super lame. It's one of the things on the internet that's always pissed me off for decades.
Fair enough, man. Fair
When
enough.
did it become uncool to be legitimately into dinosaurs?
Oh, maybe when the feathers got discovered and fucking the
Because
same...
I feel like
But that's so
dinosaurs,
cool,
they're like a child thing to be into.
No, never.
true.
I'll never be over dinosaurs.
But I don't-
have,
I don't
dinosaurs
understand
gone
why-
down in respect?
No, right. Here's the way I feel about dinosaurs is that kids say they like dinosaurs a lot, and then that has been like dinosaurs, astronauts, fire trucks. Those things are like in a category of like children like them, therefore. So like
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I've never met an adult just randomly that is like, oh yeah, I love dinosaurs. It's always children.
Childhood is
What's
being
up with that?
Well, childhood is being into firemen and wanting to be a hero. Adulthood is being a policeman and murdering minorities. That's just how that's real life.
True.
That's what it is.
Well, to answer what you said, Hippo, and not make a meme out of the entire episode, I don't know. I've never really encountered a situation where I would ask someone if they like dinosaurs or not. So I guess I've never really thought about it. But I think I think it's just such a ubiquitous everyone
Yeah.
loves dinosaurs. It's not even a need of
Right.
need
But I
to
know.
specify.
Well, I think it's that because I don't know for sure, but I think a lot of us generally are good at curating our lives to where we aren't around stupid people who are gonna be stupid about something oh, you're into something that kids are also into. Because some people, I think possibly most people, are like that. People are really weirdly insecure about anything that has any sort of childhood connotations to it. And I forget that most people are probably like that. I was reminded of it when Kraft macaroni and cheese like changed the design of its cover of its box, and it had this really weird, insecure spiel at the back of the box. And I Google image searched it. I have it right here. It's really weird. Here's what it says: Imported from your childhood. Congratulations, you just picked up a box of deliciously gooey. By the way, anytime something's like in bigger font size, I'm going to emphasize it. You just picked up a box of deliciously gooey macaroni and cheese dinner. Chances are you'll be serving it to your kids, but at the same time helping yourself to a spoonful or two. Don't worry, we understand. It's the same classic cheesy taste you know and love for your childhood. So go ahead, dig in. Your kids may be the perfect age to enjoy the gooey, cheesy goodness, but remember, you were there first.
You know,
That's so
that's great. I appreciate them trying to make me more comfortable eating macaroni and cheese, but I thought it was a little much to make the cover of the Kraft macaroni and cheese box literally this. Like a little bit overcompensating to make it the Great Gatsby from the front of the box. Like in the background, like all the cities made of noodles and like cheese.
If
If
I get no more fan art for the rest of time, I beg you, viewers, edit this and change like the Great Gatsby to be like Kraft macaroni and cheese. Like, just
please.
like make
You know
it
what?
in that font.
It actually worked because like that box is
Yeah.
like blue and has
Yeah,
like, yellow and orange letters.
exactly.
Nate,
Yeah.
were you not deliberately picking this cover because it looks
No,
similar?
I just thought because this is like the intellectual mastermind, you know.
Nate, are you some
cover
sort of
art.
like psychic genius?
Damn. Somebody make this, please. Make it happen. Check the show notes.
Jesus
Here we
Christ.
go, everybody.
All right, it's time to end this.
Is
It's time
the
to
great
stop.
the great Maxby?
The Great Maxby.
We have to stop
cheesy
this.
Gatsby. All right, that yeah.
We
we're
have
done.
to go back to not
Hey, yo,
doing
This
this
was a
anymore.
nightmare. This was a nightmare. This was Monsters 2. This was a nightmare.
No,
Oh, maybe one
I
day.
had fun. Fuck the viewers.
Yeah. Oh,
That's all
don't
that
forget we gotta
counts.
sync again so that the Dark Lord Ghost doesn't
Oh,
drift
we'll
away
do that
from
after
our,
we end.
from
Yeah.
our
But,
fucking
yo,
life
thanks.
plane.
This is the official announcement. Me and Mage are doing the Popey cast official announcement.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
It's
damn.
time. I'm ready.
Munchy, can
want
I
it.
be
I
on
want
that?
it.
I don't think it's actually real.
Well, if it is, let me on it.
Mage,
one
you
of
want
these
to actually
casts
do the Popey
sometime.
cast?
The poopy cast.
I don't know. I'll have to watch a few episodes of it again. It's been a
Okay,
while.
you can be on it if you want to, and it's real.
Well, there you go. It could be real. All right. Yo, you guys are patrons. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the money.
Sure.
Much appreciated. Unless, actually, we established at the beginning that you are not actually a patron. You were you've stolen this link illicitly.
I was
which is why
about to take
you
back what I said about fuck the viewers, but not anymore. Thanks for
Yeah, not
reminding
anymore.
me.
So
Just imagine
thanks for the- hey,
Flowey
we'll have another
appears
one
in
next
your
month,
field
everybody.
of vision and goes, ha, I know you didn't actually pay for this podcast. Don't worry. Enjoy. Benefiting
But-
off
but
the back of
thanks
these
to
content
those who
creators
actually
work
did
so
pay
hard
for
for
it,
you.
so thanks.
Yes, arigato gozaimasu in my
Worked so
native
hard.
tongue.
Well.
All right,
Nice.
thanks for listening, everybody. We'll
See
be
you
back.
around.
You know the deal.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm supposed to